Hello everyone, my name is Moon and welcome back for more Umineko When They Cry, episode number 8. So we are here, I guess, the ending or near the ending. So we got two choices here, magic or trick. I think magic is the right one, so we're gonna choose trick first. We might do both of them if it's short, but if it's long, maybe one at a time, right? So let's do this. Let's see what trick is gonna do. Yes, we gotta enter the door.
これが私の答えよ。
Did I love this music, honestly. I walked over to the door that represented the answer I had chosen. Then I put the golden key into the keyhole and turned to face everyone.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返るな。
そうね。ごめん。
I gripped the key tightly and twisted. Then the key and the door flashed brilliantly and slowly faded away. Beyond the door was a strangely colored space. If I step into this, I'll reach the future I chose. Before taking that single step, I spoke without turning back.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返らない。だから振り返らないけれど言うね。みんなありがとう。でもさよならじゃない。私はいつまでもみんなと一緒。
ああ。お前は振り返らない。だけど俺たちはいつだってお前のすぐ後ろにいるからな。
そんなのじゃない。私それでも信じてるから。絶対にみんなが帰ってきて全員揃うって信じてるから。
エンジ。
それでよい。エンジ。再びそなたのもとに我ら一同が揃う日が来るのを楽しみにしておるぞ。
エンジよ、我が可愛い孫よ。しばしの別れだ。ほれ、これを忘れるでないぞ。あのクイズパーティーの景品であるぞ。
A gold butterfly flew over my shoulder, landed on my palm, and turned into a butler doll.
ソファーの上で目覚めたとき、これが転がってたっけ。これって景品だったのね。
So I think I got Beatrice's doll. I mean, when we're doing that episode, but during that, actually my PC kind of broke, so I needed to like repeat those other stuff. So I think that's why they're showing Butler's doll. But yeah, I do remember that I got Beatrice's doll instead back then. Okay, so that's why it's showing here that we only have 14 hours of playtime. We had like almost 200, I think, or more than I don't know, but something like that. So sorry about that.
未来へ持ち帰って大切にしろい。
ありがとう。みんな。
I took a step forward into the future. I won't say goodbye, so see ya later. We'll always be together. Oh, here we are. We're in the boat. A strong wind blew through my hair. My nose was filled with the smell of sea. I must have been standing still for a very long time. This is a point cutting through the sea. I was standing on the bow of a boat. I was still holding that thing.
お嬢、いつまでもそんなところにいると肩を冷やしますぜ。
天草。じゃあここは。
Captain Kawabate's face peered out at her.
見えてきたぞ。あそこがかつての後宮家の船着き場だ。
跡形も残ってませんぜ。
そういうこと。ここに戻ってきたのね。随分と長い白チューム。いえ、遠大な寄り道だったこと。
No matter what sort of tales are woven or written about the past, they have nothing to do with my tale of the future. I sort to live life looking only at the future without turning back. If swearing that as a purpose, then this hasn't all been just a daydream. And besides, I brought many things back with me from that long side trip. Some of those aren't even immediately useful.
さすがにこれは役に立たないわね。
I threw the butler doll into the ocean.
なんですそれ？
未練よ。古い殻を私は脱ぎ捨てたの。
My regrets, and she threw it away.
懐かしき六軒島を前に心機一転ってわけですかい？
違うわ。後宮エンジェっていう人間をやめたってことよ。
I won't waste that long journey. I now have a new way to live. And that isn't as the human called Ushirimiya Enge. I am reborn.
船長、悪いけど、ちょっと席を外してもらえるかしら。
ん？ああ、すまん。構わんよ。
Captain Kawabata went down into the driver's area.
なんですお嬢。気難しい顔して。
私、新しい人生をこれから踏み出そうと思うの。
すでに踏み出してますぜ。
そうね。後宮家のめんどくさいのをすべて売り払って、どこかに寄付でもしたら、きれいさっぱり清々するわ。それで私は、後宮エンジェという殻を全部脱ぎ去れる。
莫大な金が思いのままってのに、もったいねえことです。
いいじゃない。私がいらないって言ってるんだから。
そりゃそうですがね。ただ、お嬢が売っ払うのは、お嬢だけのものじゃないものもありますぜ。例えば、
後宮グループの株式とか
So now they're talking about who's gonna be the head, I guess, right? Because yeah, she's the only one left, technically.
そうです。
And then yeah, people are fighting, like, I guess for... I mean, to be maybe the lead for this, and then Anje, she probably doesn't really care. So you got, what, like Okonogi and, what's the other family? Sumadera, right?
お嬢にとってはただの紙切れでしょうが、でっかい会社の命運を揺さぶりかねない暴挙ですぜ。んなことされたら、うちのボスもたまらんでしょうぜ。
ええ、知ってるわ。スマデラ家もそう。おこのぎ社長たちもそう。私に自由気ままでいられちゃ困る連中が大勢いるものね。
エンジェさんはまごうことなきVIPです。 派手なことは慎んで、ここはおとなしく隠れてる方がいいかと思うんですがね。
その VIP エンジェを好き放題にさせない、一番手っ取り早い方法って何かしら？
さて、どんな方法がありますやら。
Honestly, I would just give it to Okunogi. Yeah, like not give it, but like just him take the lead because Asuma they're a family. He doesn't care about her anyways, right? And Okunogi was there already. So you're gonna be choosing the better of what's it, two evils, right?
まあ、酒でも飲んで腹を割って。
Like leave it to Okunogi and then yeah, go wherever you want.
私の旅の最終目的地が六軒島であることは誰にでも予測可能だわ。そして六軒島は今や完全なる無人島。誰も存在しない。誰にも見られず聞かれない。今日は最高の密室日和。
Technically, yeah, if something happened there, no one's a witness technically.
そりゃまあ確かに。
スマデラ家が私を追っているわ。小此木社長のところにもタイミングよく押しかけてきた。私があそこにいた情報は売られているのよ。
うちのボスが売ったと？なのにボディーガードをつけますかい？
私がどんな気まぐれを起こすかわからない以上、小此木社長は私とスマデラ家の双方に貸しを作りたい。だったら私の情報を売りつつ紙一重で私を逃がし、その後も所在を抑え続ければ勝負カードを手中にしたまま私にもスマデラ家にも恩が売れるわ。
Technically, yeah, this guy is he's just what is the word for this? But yeah, he wants a situation that's gonna be much more better for him.
そりゃ考えすぎですぜ。
Amakusa wore a forced smile, trying to smooth things over.
スマデラ家は確実に私を追っているわ。私の行動は意図的に彼らにリークされているもの。そして六軒島で私たちは鉢合わせになる。そして私は連中に殺される。そしてあんたはスマデラ家のヒットマンを返り討ちにして、小此木社長はスマデラ家に対し交渉のカードを得る。私が死ねば後宮グループは当面安泰。その上スマデラ家には釘も刺せる。さらに言えばスマデラ家も持て余し気味の過激派の急先鋒霞おばさんをきれいな形で処分できる。
Over enthusiastic radical faction.
両者は痛み分けで手打ちしてめでたしめでたし。
ひゅー、なかなか面白いシナリオですぜ。
あんたの持ち込んだあのゴルフバッグ、
Yeah, she's gonna say you got guns in there, right?
中身を改めさせてもらったわ。すごいわね。戦争でも始めそうなすごい銃ばかり。でもあれは狙撃銃だわ。常に私に寄り添っているはずのボディーガードに必要な銃なのかしら。
何が起こるか分かりませんもので。
常に軽装であることが望まれるボディーガードがその役割を一日放棄してまで六軒島に渡る直前に調達する必要のある銃かしら。
お嬢、考えすぎですぜ。
私が六軒島に着いたら一人でゆっくり墓参りをするといいというような感じにして私を一人にする。それは餌。すでに六軒島で待ち構えているスマデラ霞たちを釣り上げる餌。あとは あんたがあのバカでかい銃で一網打尽にしておしまいよ。
一網打尽。結構じゃねえですかい。ちゃんと護衛になってますぜ。
ゴルフバッグには最新式の狙撃銃の他にドイツ製の新型短機関銃も入っていた。
便利ですぜ。スマドラ家が何人来ようが一網打尽です。
もう一丁あった。それは拳銃。狙撃銃も短機関銃も最新式の素晴らしいものなのに、その拳銃だけは嫌に古ぼけていて旧式だった。これよ。
NJ pulled a handgun out and pointed it at Amakusa. Jesus.
おやめなさい。笑えませんぜ。
拳銃は常に身につけておくものでしょ。なのになぜさらにもう一丁があって、それもこんな不釣り合いな古い銃がわざわざ用意されているの？それを説明する推理があるわ。それは須磨寺霞たちが用意している銃と同じだからということよ。この銃はトカレフ、旧ソ連製の軍用拳銃で、日本のアンダーグラウンドに大量に流通しているポピュラーなものだわ。須磨寺家が用意する武器として極めて妥当。それに須磨寺霞が死んでくれることは須磨寺家にとっても都合がいい。須磨寺家側も情報のリーク、いえバーターに応じていると考えられる。よって須磨寺家のヒットマンが調達した銃がトカレフであることは事前にわかることが可能なのよ。
Honestly, a lot of things are happening here. Yeah, a lot of conspiracies. If this person dies, it would be better. If that person dies, it's gonna be much more better for them. Amakusa was speechless. Was he speechless because this was all true, or because he was stunned by the determination with which Angie pointed that gun at him?
あんたの、いえ、あんたたちの企みは、私を餌に須磨寺霞を無人島におびき寄せ、双方が相打ちで倒れたように細工すること。それで小此木社長も須磨寺家も全てが丸く収まる。
A single line of cold sweat dripped down Amakusa's forehead. With the wind whipping through her hair, Angie spoke coldly.
ただこの拳銃があるだけで後宮エンジェにはこの程度の推理が可能よ。いかがかしら皆様方。
Everyone.
安全装置外れてませんぜ。
知ってるわよ。トカレフに安全装置がないことくらい。
Oh! She shot him. Amakusa tried to dive behind the cover, but he couldn't outrun a bullet. It shot into his gut, making him double over in pain. Angie, who knew that he had a gun hidden in his pocket, then eliminated his chances of a counterattack. And this is a bad ending, I guess. Blood spurted from Amakusa's forehead, and he did not close his eyes again.
お医者でなくてもできる。世界で一番簡単で確実。絶対な検視の方法ね。
I mean, technically, yeah.
あんた
Don't tell me she's gonna kill the captain as well. Kawabata stuck his head out and his face went pale when he saw the gruesome scene on the deck. This time, Angie pointed the barrel of the gun at his forehead.
船の都合があるので時間が欲しい。あなたはそう言ったわ。でも、あなたが買収されているならば、それは 須寺かすみが六軒島で待ち伏せするための時間稼ぎだと断言できる。
知らんぞ。何のことかわからん。
あなたという猫箱の中に、買収されて裏切ったあなたと、裏切ってないあなたの二人が共存しているわ。その片方の、裏切ったあなたを殺す方法は？
よせ！嘘だ！
猫箱ごと、あなたを撃ち殺せばいいんだわ。
Then she just killed the captain as well. The boat's owner slumped over backwards and fell. Then with a second bullet, she performed a perfect examination of his corpse. Perfect examination. Just execute him. She had survived. She had, and then ... Survived, but at what cost, right? Surely she had survived the web-like conspiracy that had been wrapped around her so cleverly. Anja returned to the bow of the boat, faced the strong winds head-on, and peered into the future in front of her. The boat whose owner was gone headed towards the endless horizon, on and on and on in a straight line. She prayed that the truth she truly desired to reach lay before her. Then she heard the sound of clapping. The sound of clapping on a boat where Amakusa and the captain were no more. However, Anja didn't look surprised. She calmly and slowly turned around. Erica.
お見事な推理でした。同志エンジェ。
So the rat is here.
真実の魔女の同志、エンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。
あら、いたの、エリカ。
真実を暴く者がいるならば、私はどこにでもいます。
ねえ、エリカ。
何です？
Shooter. The boat had already passed by Rokinjima. The island's silhouette was now off in the distance. The boat headed towards the endless horizon, continuing on its endless journey. The Witch of Truth announced the beginning of this endless journey to her fellow witch.
私は、私なりの方法で、未来を切り開くわ。
素晴らしいことです。
その果てに、私がつかめる真実はあるのかしら。
あなたが求める真実って、今更何だって言うんです？
その通りだわ。真実なんて何の価値もないって。そしてもう一つ分かったことがある。
何でしょう？
天草のカンパされて戸惑った時のあの表情、悪くなかったわ。
グッド。
Oh! They're the same now. She became like Erica. That was the ending? What happened there? Okay, so I guess let's talk about a little of that trick ending that we got there. So it was obviously, it was a bad ending, obviously, right? So what it showed is that Angie became, I guess, paranoid, very suspicious. So she was becoming like her mom, right? Like Kyrie. And it showed there because she killed Amakusa, killed the captain, killed Captain Kawabata, right? Even though she didn't know because she was suspicious of him. So it was basically showing a trajectory of Angie's life if she continued doing, I guess, that. And it turned like really, really bad. It had driven her to, I would say, insanity then, right? Because you see at the ending there with Erica, like they showed Erica, they're pretty much comparing them to each other now. And she was saying like, oh, Amakusa was saying this and that. And then by the end, it was kind of good, right? It felt good. So she's having dissatisfaction, I guess, of doing bad things into others. She felt good while doing it. And this is really bad. Because, yeah, her trajectory in life is gonna be like that now. She might kill people who wronged her, who did bad things to her. Remember the bullies in school that she was dreaming of offing? She can actually do that now. So basically what happened, or what is gonna happen, I guess, if she moved forward with that kind of life is, yeah, she would be removing people off one by one, and that would be the only solution. Just like how, I guess you would say, how Kyrie did it in Rokinjima itself, right? Killed all the family members because she thought that was the easiest way, and that was right. So they needed money, and that was what she did. She offed every member of her family. And Angie was becoming kind of like that. That was an interesting ending there. That side they showed us. And it was actually good though. It was actually good. Even messed up, but it was good. Okay, so this time around, let us choose the magic ending, I guess. Magic time. Let's go.
これが私の答えよ。
I walk over to the door that represented the answer I had chosen. Then I put the golden key into the keyhole and turned to face everyone.
Uchiromiyaのわしは振り返るな。
そうね。ごめん。
I gripped the key tightly and twisted. Then the key and the door flashed brilliantly and slowly faded away. Beyond the door was strangely colored space. If I step into this, I'll reach the future I chose. Before taking that single step, I spoke without turning back.
後ろ宮のわしは振り返らない。だから振り返らないけれど言うね。みんなありがとう。でもさよならじゃない。私はいつまでもみんなと一緒。
ああ。お前は振り返らない。だけど俺たちはいつだってお前のすぐ後ろにいるからな。
そんなのじゃない。私それでも信じてるから。絶対にみんなが帰ってきて全員揃うって信じてるから。
エンジ。
それでよい。エンジ。再びそなたのもとに我ら一同が揃う日が来るのを楽しみにしておるぞ。
エンジよ、我が可愛い孫よ。しばしの別れだ。ほれ、これを忘れるでないぞ。あのクイズパーティーの景品であるぞ。
A gold butterfly flew over my shoulder, landed on my palm, and turned into a butler doll.
ファーの上で目覚めた時、これが転がってたっけ？これって、景品だったのね。
未来へ持ち帰って大切にしろい。
ありがとう、みんな。
I took a step forward into the future. I won't say goodbye, so see you later. We'll always be together. The wind brushed against my cheek. I slowly opened my shut eyes. Okay, so different scenario. I must have had my eyes closed for a very long time. Even the sparkles below me seemed blindingly bright. It was a strange world with a sea of stars beneath me. The wind was cold. However, it told me that I had returned to reality. I was standing with one foot outstretched over that starry sea. How long have I been here? Time has probably stopped for me ever since Burn lured me forward. When I was about to take that step off the edge, I slowly pulled my foot back in. Then I leaned against a fence and sat down. The sky was far away, but so was the ground. This whole time I've been in this sad place, so far from both of those worlds. I can't go to the sky. In that case, I have to return to my world.
そしてそれは、エレベーターがいいわね。スカイダイブはもうたくさん。さすがにもうないわよね。ここから飛び降りて、無事なんて奇跡は。
Some Witch of Miracles has already guaranteed with certainty that such a miracle won't occur after all. Then I finally noticed them. It was the guards President Okunogi had assigned to me. They were approaching the fence with forced smiles and sweat dripping down their faces, trying to not startle me. That's right. I gave these guys a slip before jumping off, didn't I?
飛び降りると思った？
それはもう、
ごめんね。私が飛び降りたら、あんたたち大目玉もらっちゃうものね。おこのぎさんに。
エンジェさん、そこは危険です。とにかくこちらへお戻りください。
もうちょっとだけいさせて。大丈夫よ。変な気はもう起こさないから。あなたたち、携帯は持ってる？
あります。
おこのぎさんと話したいことがあるの。電話してもらってもいい？
The guards looked at each other and then rushed to take out their cell phones. They were worried that I might get annoyed and jump off, leaving them to take the blame.
社長が出ました。どうぞ。
ありがとう。もしもし、おこのぎさん？ええ、急にごめんなさい。
I like how Ange is, her expression is just, how do I say this? Happy, I would say. Like she's always, sad, right? But now it's different, even the way she speaks.
いいえ、素敵な話よ。
Yeah.
ちょっと早いクリスマスプレゼント。後ろ宮グループを全部、あなたにあげるわ。そう。その代わり、お願いがいくつかあるの。
As she gazed down at the sea of stars spread out on the ground below her, Angie spoke. She spoke of how she would live from now on. Ushirimiya Angie's strange and mysterious adventure ends here. But my life will continue. After all, there's already something for me to do. I am Angie Beatrice, witch of Mariage Sorcière.
後宮エンジェはさっきここから落ちて死んだわ。ここにいる私は魔女のエンジェ。生きるわ、魔女として。
That was really nice though. You can see her whole mood changed. She was not that sad Angie anymore. Yeah, I like even how she spoke. Yeah, it was different. Like really different. Like you can see the joy now.
これにて、そなたのゲームは終了だ。
As Angie opened the door and vanished from sight, the residents of the Golden Land disappeared as well. They're moving on. It's over. But Butler is the only one who's here. Ooh. He had done now everything he could for Angie.
扉を閉めよ。確か、その扉を閉めるには作法があったな。
ええ、そうよ。二人じゃなきゃ閉められないというルールよ。
よー、エヴァおばさん。
だからおばさんって呼ばないで。
It's a bad ending, so though we have Eva Beatrice there. The two of them stood to the left and right of the door that Angie had vanished through.
エンジェ、あなたの未来に幸あれ。
俺たちは必ず一緒になれるからだ。
Then the two of them held their hands out in front of them. Even if they're not there physically, they're gonna be with you. As they did, a door popped into existence and closed. Then the door itself faded away.
これで私たちの役目も終わりね。
ああ。これでコマの役目を終了だ。
ご苦労であった二人とも。それではこれにてそなたらのゲーム版を片付ける。
Slowly, the world melted. At a glance, it looked as though the city of books was starting to fall apart. But that wasn't it. Butler and Ava's world was being cut off from the city of books. The world broke apart bit by bit, and the ceiling would probably fall in soon.
お別れね、バトラ君。
ああ。またな。そして必ずエンジェを頼むぜ、エヴァおばさん。
最後くらいエヴァお姉さんって言ってみなさいよ。
またな、エリカ。いつかどこかで。
私もエンジェも同じ真実の魔女でした。なのに私と彼女の何が違ったのでしょう。私は真実に耐える魔女でした。でもその真実に背を向けました。しかし彼女は真実を知った上でなおも彼女の真実を信じる魔女でした。もし彼女の方が真実の魔女にふさわしいなら、私は何の魔女だったのかわかりません。
そうだな。お前は、魔女じゃない。だってお前は、探偵だろ。
ぐっと忘れてました。
またいつかどこかでな。事件あるとこ、探偵ありなんだろ。
ええ。
Wherever there's a crime, the detective is sure to be there.
後ろ宮家に再び事件あるとき、必ず現れることを約束しましょう。
あばよ、名探偵。
さようなら、我が好敵手。あなたと再び刃を交えられる日を楽しみにしています。
Those were the final words the two ever spoke to each other. A terrible roar and a cloud of dust blew by, covering everything. And then everything vanished. Nothing remained. Butler and Ava were both gone. The city of books was wrapped in silence.
すべて終わったな。
はい。大アウローラ卿。
そなたは我が飼い猫を頼む。では私も行こう。こちらの世界でも片付けねばならぬのでな。
Oh, Hachijo. Everyone fell silent, thinking they had misheard her. Before too long, though, the crowd exploded with a shower of questions about what she meant by this.
そんな殺生な！ここまで引っ張っといてそれはない！
八条先生、私たちはそれを見たくてはるばる集まってきたのですよ。
今さらそれは。
What'd she say?
繰り返します。気が変わりました。後宮エヴァの日記は非公開とさせていただきます。
Oh, honestly, that kind of sucks. Like, for example, like, you're just a reader or you want to know what really happened. Jesus, that sucks, right? And then she had a press conference like this. And now she's saying like, oh, by the way, I'm not gonna do it anymore, so you can all go home now. Really, that really sucks.
詐欺だ！そんなの詐欺だ！
Like, you would ruin your name, literally, because of that.
それは本当に後宮エヴァの日記なんですか？あんたの捏造じゃないんですか？こんなふざけたことが許されるのか？その本を公開しろ！
醜きかな人の子よ。そなたらにも、そしてこの私にも、この中身を見る資格などありはしない。しかし思えば、これもなかなか愉快な催しであった。死者の眠りを暴き、好き勝手に噂を吹聴する人のこの面白き一面を見ることができた。行くぞ、ベル。今宵の魚にはこれで十分であろう。
A black cat jumped onto Hachijo's shoulders, and she disappeared off to the side of the stage, the book of the single truth in her arms. Only the angry yells of the massive crowd remained. And so the people began to lose interest in Ushinomiya Ava's diary, doubting whether it had even truly existed. Though the weekly magazines were in an uproar over the scam Hachijo Toya had pulled, some began to openly wonder if Rokenjima's mystery itself was an indiscreet desecration of the dead. I don't think a little thing like this will allow Rokenjima to rest in peace. However, it did create an atmosphere where people were slightly more hesitant to openly show interest in the Rokenjima mystery. unopened cat box is eternal, Rokinjima will probably never find peace. However, even so, compared to how it was before, a life will surely be easier. Because as the years pass, the dust will slowly pile up on it where it lies in the depths of oblivion. At the bottom of the deep sea known as the depths of oblivion, the cat box of the witches will probably get slowly buried as the years pass. Featherine threw a single golden rose into that sea, and offering to let the cat box rest in peace. With that tale of the golden rose, let us mark the end of this long story. So, maybe we can interpret that she threw away the diary? I don't know. In the darkness, there was a massive roar and an earthquake. When it passed, dawn began to rise over the endless night. Oh, we went back. 1986 again. The third day.
ここは
かつての潜水艦基地の廃墟だ。覚えてはおらぬのか？
初めての場所だぜ。
Where it all happened. Okay.
わらわとそなたが2代前の前世で初めて出会った場所であるぞ。
So I guess they're like how they're saying this is it's not like how it really happened. They're showing it like we have memories of because back then it was Kinzo and the original Beatrice, right, who was actually in this area. So of course Butler wouldn't know this place. I actually thought they were gonna interpret it like that rather than this, I mean.
そういう風に言われるとロマンチックだな。
Butler and Beato could be seen in the ruins of Rokinjima's underground submarine base. The cave's mouth opened to the sea, and the gentle sound of the waves drifted in, along with the cries of the seagulls. It seemed that a typhoon, which had closed off the island for 2 days, had finally gotten bored and gone away. Beato went down to the shore and lifted up a large sheet. Beneath it was a motorboat. Of course, it wasn't from the time of war. It was modern.
これを船に積め。重いぞ。
わお。
Wow.
黄金のインゴットじゃねえかよ。全部埋もれちまったと思ってたぜ。
So they still have one more.
こんなこともあろうかと思ってな。一つくすねておいたのだ。
A single heavy ingot was dropped into the boat. I am not sure how much this is worth by itself, but it must be quite a lot.
そなたはモーターボートの経験は？
あるわけないぜ。
簡単だ。教えてやる。
She wasn't used to this, but after several mistakes, Beato finally got the engine started.
そこを出て、島伝いにぐるりと回れば、そのうち新島が見える。あとは砂浜にでも乗り上げればよい。
お前は来ないのか？
わらわは行けぬ。わらわは黄金鏡の主よ。ここを出ては行けぬ。
残って何になる？
行って何になる？
生きよ
う。生きれぬ。わらわはもう数えきれぬほどの世界で数えきれぬほどの罪を犯した。わらわが殺した命の数が、罪の数が多すぎる。
俺たちの世界では何の罪も犯しちゃいないさ。
いいや、そんなことはないぞ。行け。わらわの機嫌が良いうちにな。さもなくば 再び島を嵐に閉ざしてしまうぞ。
Butler suddenly spun around. When Beata turned around to see what was going on, her body was suddenly lifted into the air.
なら、黄金鏡からの手土産に、お前を持ち帰ることにするぜ。
話さぬか。危ないというのに。
ギャーギャー騒ぐな。よく聞け、ベアトリーチェ。
なんだ。
お前を、さらう。
As the butler quietly gazed at her with serious eyes, Beato was lost for words.
お前に罪があるなら、それを犯させた俺にも罪がある。だから、お前の十字架は、俺たち二人で背負おう。
バトラ。
生涯、お前の十字架を支えるから。出よ、黄金鏡。俺と二人で。
Beato was now too shocked to say anything at all. Then tears poured from her eyes and she covered her face. Butler gently set her down in the boat. He undid the mooring ropes. Now there was no longer anything trying or tying this boat to the island.
行くぜ。
Controlling the boat as Beato had taught him, Butler slowly guided it out. When they passed out of the dimly lit cavern, they were immediately struck by the bright rays of sun and surrounded by a crowd of white seagulls. As the seagulls flew this way and that, the feathers they dropped in the water seemed to celebrate the boat's departure. The brilliant sunlight told them that they were now free of the island's curse. The sky, now freed from the seed of the typhoon, seemed too bright to be real. Feeling hot, Butler took off his jacket. It was swept away by the wind and danced through the sky. However, instead of panicking, Butler just smiled as he watched it go. Beato also watched it go. No, she watched the island go. Rukkinjima and the Golden Land she had spent 1,000 years in.
わらわは生きていけるだろうか。
生きてけるさ。魔法の執事はいねえが、便利なものがいろいろあるさ。六軒島にはないものが何でもある。お前に世界を見せてやるぜ。
わらわは生きて。
Beato repeated the same words again. Butler knew what she meant. However, no matter what answer he gave, he wouldn't be able to resolve her problem. However, there was a way to resolve it. Time and the heart. Little by little, bit by bit. Like a chain being cut by falling drops of water, he would have to sever the curse of the island gradually over a long period of time. It might take a long time, however, someday she will be free. That's what I believe.
わらわはあの島で幾百の死をもてあそんだ罪深き魔女だ。そのわらわにそなたの世界は眩しすぎる。
いや、生きろ。
I answered immediately and forcefully.
もしお前が幾百の罪を償おうと思うなら、生きて生の限りを尽くして精一杯を生きろ。それだけがお前の罪を償う方法だ。
それだけがわらわの罪を償う方法なのか。
そうだ。そして絶対に償いきれる。俺を信じろ。
バトラー。
潤んだ目で見るなよ。照れるだろ。
これはすまぬ。ならばせめて目を閉じてはくれぬか。
目を閉じろって、なんだよ。お前、顔近いよ。
バカな男め。黄金鏡より魔女を連れ出した呪いを受けるがいい。だから目を閉じろというのに。わらはもう恥ずかしい。
As soon as Butler shut his eyes, soft lips covered his. Then they slowly drew back. He tried to open his eyes, but just got slapped.
見るな！わらわの顔を見るなというに！
いいじゃねえかよ。減るもんじゃねえだろ。
デリカシーのないやつめ。
Delicacy.
開けるな！まだ開けるな！なんでかって？もう一度キスがしたいからだ。
The next kiss was on his earlobe.
バーがよせって。それはさすがに恥ずかしい。
He knew he'd get hit again if he opened his eyes, so he resisted with his eyes still shut. Then after sighing and tickling his ear, Beato spoke in her usual cheerful, bullying voice.
悪いな、バトラー。わらわは極悪非道の最悪魔女だぜ。
ああ、知ってるぜ。お前は最悪の残酷魔女だな。
だから罪など償わぬぞ。わらわは幾百の死をゲラゲラと笑い転げる、そういう魔女である。
こいつめ。でもその方がお前らしいぜ。
He accidentally opened his eyes. And when he did, the witch was nowhere to be seen. The golden witch had vanished, like a dream or an illusion. And so the single ingot they had carried with them. Okay, I know what happened now. She jumped. Butler jumped straight into the ocean, and so he made it in time. The witch looked up at Butler with a faint smile. He couldn't hear any words, and yet he heard clearly.
言ったろ、バトラ。わらわは極悪な魔女だから、罪など償わぬと。生きてなど償わぬと。
Okay. As she sank, Butler chased her with all his strength. And then his hand reached her.
愚かなバトラよ。せっかく島を生きて出られたのに、そなたはそれを投げ出すのか。
俺はお前を離さない。
気持ちは嬉しいぞ。だがわらわは幻想の住人、そしてそなたは人間。帰るべき世界が違うのだ。わらわは幻想へ帰る。そしてそなたも自分の世界へ帰るがいい。
Butler's fingers began to slip, and then at last their fingers separated. At once, Butler rose towards a world of light, the witch sank towards the darkness. Seeing Butler's body rise towards the shining surface, the witch relaxed.
さよなら、バトラー。そして、ありがとう。
When she saw Butler's body became a speck and disappear, she allowed herself to fall into the world of abyss. Then she felt something, but that was impossible. Butler had already disappeared into the distance. But it was Butler. Butler had come after the witch.
逃がすかよ。お前は俺だけの黄金の魔女だ。
バカバトラー、バカバトラ
ー。お前が望む奈落になら、俺も一緒に落ちよう。そこが虚無の世界ならば、お前と一緒に消えよう。だが、消える最後の瞬間まで、お前は俺のものだ。
The two hugged each other. Fate didn't try to tear them apart again. And so the two became one and sank into the abyss together.
そして何も見えない真っ暗な世界でぽっと輝きました。それは温かな黄金の輝き。それは黄金のバラでした。
それがふわりと純白の無垢な砂の敷き詰められた世界にたどり着きます。そこには白い砂に半分埋まった小さな箱が。
それは静かな海の底で安らかに眠るベアトリーチェの猫箱。その上にふわりと黄金のバラは舞い降りるのでした。
それは深い深い海の底のお話。真っ暗な真っ暗な暗闇の中にほのかに輝く黄金のバラが眠っているというとてもささやかな物語。
1998. We're back with Enji. A black luxury car was parked at the rear entrance of the skyscraper. Men wearing suits were packing a heavy-looking attache case into its trunk.
あとは万事任せてくれ。
Okunogi.
面倒事は全部こっちで引き受ける。
よろしくね。エヴァおばさんが一番信頼していたあなたに任せられて、おばさんもきっと喜んでると思うわ。
Out of the building came Anje and President Okunogi. Anje's expression was peaceful. It was hard to imagine that this was the same person who had always looked so dark in Okunogi's eyes.
晩年の会長は少々病んでいた。エンジェちゃんに相当きつい言葉もかけたろうが、あれは本意じゃなかったはずなんだ。
わかるわ。私だって虫の居所の悪い日には言わなくていいことまで言っちゃうもの。
変わったな。
そう？
俺はエンジェちゃんは生涯会長を許さないって思ってたぜ。
教えてくれたでしょ、おこのぎさんが。
俺が？なんか言ったっけ？
愛がなければ真実は見えないって。
I mean, he did say that. Yeah, I remember. When we first met him, he did say that.
そんなキザなこと言ったっけ？
長い旅をしたわ。おこのぎさんのあの日の言葉を理解するためだけに、本当に長い旅をしたわ。
Of course, Okunogi understood. He understood that in her heart, this had been a long and profound journey.
新居と口座を決めたら連絡してくれ。何も不自由はさせねえからな。
スマデラ家は問題ない？
全部任せてくれ。
Yeah, so NJ has, I guess, someone on her side now that will protect her.
こっちにはエンジェちゃんの委任状って錦の御旗がある。
Like this was the best outcome.
おかげで後ろ宮グループは一枚岩だ。エンジェちゃんのおかげで会長の作った会社が守られた。会長もエンジェちゃんの決断を喜んでるはずだぜ。
めんどくさいことを全部押し付けたかっただけよ。
When the great president Ushinomiya Eva passed away, the Ushinomiya group was shaken. There was no clear successor, so the group had been in danger of splitting. After that, everyone had been waiting to hear what Angie would say, since she had inherited a large portion of the group's stock. However, Angie had shown no interest in any of this, and had gone around talking about things like selling all their assets and donating everything to some charity, which had shaken the group even further. There even had been a chance that an outsider such as the Sumadera family would interfere and destroy the Ushinomiya group. As disturbing as it may seem, some had wished for the source of all this trouble, Angie, to disappear. However, Angie had gone and changed of heart, deciding to do what was best for the Ushinomiya group that Eva had built up, and the worst case scenario had been avoided. Okonogi had been named as Angie's legal guardian. By simply giving him her trust, Angie now had in him the most reliable ally possible. Okonogi himself had certain plans he could carry out based on the knowledge that Angie trusted him. Okonogi, who had carried great responsibility in the group thanks to his position as Ava's closest confidant, was the most natural choice to be Ava's successor for the spot. And thanks in part to his ability, everything had now been wrapped up smoothly. This way, the Ushinomiya group was secure. The Ushinomiya group had been the only thing still tied to the Ushinomiya name other than Angie herself, so she might have a thought of it as her final link to her family.
いつでも帰ってきていいんだぜ。エンジェちゃんの椅子は用意してあるんだからな。
ありがとう。帰る場所があるってだけで安心して旅立てるわ。
これからは何をして過ごすんだ？
作家になるわ。
作家？
So an author?
小説の？
何でもいいの。小説でも絵本でも。私に絵心があるなら漫画でも。
She's gonna do the manga. She was the one who wrote the manga.
とにかく何でもいいの。誰かに心を伝えられるなら。
そりゃ高尚な仕事だな。成功することを祈ってるぜ。
ありがとう。もし本が出せたら送るわ。
楽しみにしてるぜ。
The car's trunk was closed with a clunk. Apparently all of her luggage had been loaded.
そうだ。運転手を紹介しておこう。
It's your boy. Amakusa, 100%.
俺の子飼いの男だ。信用できるし、何でも頼れるぞ。会長のところで長年護衛をしていたから、エンジェちゃんも面識があるかもな。
天草だけはごめんよ。
Achoo, the man walking out of the driver's seat sneezed.
そりゃねえですぜ、お嬢。
天草。おめえ何やらかしたんだ？
おばさんの護衛の中で一番軽薄そうだったからね。こいつだけはごめんよって思ったの。
でも、一番仲良くしてたろ？
まあ、おしゃべりだけは面白かったかも。
ボスからエンジェさんとの連絡役を仰せつかりました。何か面倒事がありましたらいつでもご連絡を。
トイレットペーパー買ってきてとか言ってもいいの？
ついでに生理用品も買ってきますぜ。
ね。最悪の男でしょ。
Okonogi, how do you say that? Go off? I got into the back seat.
じゃあ、元気でな。エンジちゃん。
その名で呼ばれるのも、これで最後ね。
新しい名前が決まったら、教えてくれ。
Okonogi patted the roof of the car. At that signal, Amakusa honked the horn and removed the handbrake.
新しい名前が決まるまではお嬢でいいですかい？
当面はそれでいいわ。
さて、どこへ行きますかい？北へ？南へ？
おすすめはある？
本州を出るのはどうですかい？北海道なんておすすめですぜ。広い草原、でっかい雲。ログハウスで執筆する小説家なんて最高ですぜ。
じゃあ南にするわ。あんたが言ったのと逆の方にするって決めてた。
So basically, what Amakusa didn't say.
いや、そりゃひでえや。
暖かい地方がいい。海が見える街がいいわ。
Angie closed her eyes. Things had been pretty crazy lately and she was tired.
了解です。お嬢が次に目を覚ます時にはもう見知らぬ異境ですぜ。ですがそこは海の見える暖かい街です。
期待してるわ。あんたのチョイス。
The car got into the freeway. It was surrounded by the Great River cars heading east and west. By now, no one could tell which of those points was the car she rode in. Starting today, Ushinomiya Angie would change her name and live in a new climate. Changing her name didn't mean that she had given up on being Angie. This was Angie Beatrice's mission.
私はエンジェ・ベアトリーチェ。黄金と無限と反言の魔女。マリアージュ・ソルシエールの魔女。1998年の未来に生き残る最後の魔女。
Okay, so we ended the magic ending, I suppose. So I would say it is bittersweet. So I guess let's start from the beginning from that. For Angie, or for what Butler was, I guess, trying to do for this episode and throughout all episode 8 was for Angie to move on, right? It don't matter what was in Ava's diary. Just remember the good times, right? Sure, people, they're bad people, good, like normal people turning to bad people. But what Butler is saying, just remember your family as, how they were, or the good memories with your family, and move on with your life, and not let this, I guess the bad thing that happened to their family and what might be in the diary define your life. It happened 12 years ago. You can move on now. Just remember that they were there. Remember how they were good to you. And then push forward. Move on. And that's it, right? Because we saw how the other Angie was, right? In the trick ending. Like look at what happened to her. She was different. She was bad. She was paranoid. She was very suspicious. And she liked, or it felt good to her that when she was doing I guess, bad stuff to a person. It felt good. But for this one, it was a different one. Her life was or is much more better. Even the way she talks, right? She was happy. You can hear it from the voice itself. I like how the actor did it like that. You can see that it really changed her. She was not the Angie who was always sad or frowning every time. When she was talking to Okunogi there, she was really happy, right? And then we go, I guess, to Butler and Beatrice right there. So I suppose that's how it really happened for both of them. Like how it ended, I guess, for both of them. Going to the boat, leaving the island, and then Beatrice, I guess, jumped into the water. So I would say why Beatrice did it is because, I guess, yeah, you could say guilt. Like all of what she did, and then her life in general, like led up to that. And then, yes, she's finally there. She's finally at the end. And she can live a happy life now. Butler's there. She was there. But I guess in her heart, she was like, yeah, it's not, like, I don't deserve this. After what happened, all of that, even though it is right there, you can literally just sit there and then you're gonna ride off into the sunset. It didn't feel right to her, so I guess that's why she did that. That's why there was a gold ingot there, I suppose. Tie it to your leg so you don't float up. And it ended. So I guess how they're showing Butler was, I think Butler's still alive. Like the one with Hachijo. I kind of hated that they didn't expand on it. But yeah, I guess you could say Butler technically died. But then I guess, yeah, when they were going down, when it said that Butler and Beatrice's hands kind of, what do you call this, broke apart, or how did he say that? But basically their hands were not touching anymore. I think that was the moment when he came up, right? And then suddenly we saw Butler hugging her, and then they're going down. So you could say that Butler technically died that day as well with Beatrice. And then the one who came up was a different one. A different person now. The one with Hachijo. So maybe we'll see that in the tea parties. I'm kind of expecting it because, I mean, it was obvious though. It was obvious that he might be alive. So we'll see. I'm looking forward to what happens in the tea parties this time around. Hopefully they do that. Hopefully they show that. Because I know how this writer is. He doesn't want to, like, fully tell it to you. Like, Ryukishi doesn't want to give it to you, basically, right? He's not giving you the answers. You gotta just find it out. He's not gonna spell it out for you or gonna give it to you directly. But he's giving hints and all of that. So I'm leaning into that. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see if I'm right. But I think though. Like there's nothing else. But I don't know what's gonna be in the tea parties. Gonna look forward to it. So did you like both endings? Did you like the trick ending even though it's kind of bad? It was funny as well because Erika was there. And then NJ became like Erika. So did you like that? I'm not comparing the two endings because it's kind of like bad and good endings. What I'm just asking is, did you like the endings? And which one you liked most? So anyways, we are going to continue this and do more of Umineko When They Cry, episode 8 in the next one. So I'll just see you then. Bye bye.